called Rock the Boat. Definitely I preferred this episode a lot more than I think I preferred the All American episode yesterday.
I honestly
Yeah,
prefer
what did
the
you prefer, Annie?
I prefer the All American episode better
Okay.
than this episode.
Uh-huh.
Just because I honestly like All American better than All American Homecoming.
Mm-hmm.
But
Well, okay, well, the thing...
I know you like Homecoming.
Well, also...
you like All American Homecoming better than All American right
Yeah,
now.
as of right now, I kind of been preferring All American Homecoming more because I haven't been really loving the writing that All American has been doing. And I kind of been liking the character development that we've been doing All American Homecoming, and I feel like we get a lot more baseball and tennis than we still do with football over at All American, which, as you guys know, it's titled All American, so that's why I was like, I'm just so furious at All American because there's the lack of football. But going into this episode, the KEK is throwing like a party because they won. The baseball team won their baseball game. I can't remember if it was versus Hawkins or not, or if it was versus another team. But pretty much, Bringston got a lot of publicity because of the fact of Damon going back to Hawkins, or going back to Bringston, and I guess it's in the question of why he wanted to go back, and that's pretty much what Damon's dealing with, and pretty much dealing with the fact of him, and everybody surrounding him, making it sound like he is always like, because the center of attention, whether it be in his relationship with Thea, because Thea made it sound like, oh, like I can't go become nothingness, and you know what I mean, and you just and like you consume me. I can't be consumed by your fame and who you are, making it sound like it's his fault that he is a big star, and all the great things he's done with baseball got him to him to becoming a big star. And he hears it from Thea, and then he hears it from Lando, making it sound like, oh, everything that's happening because everybody looking at Bringston, making it sound like it's weird that you wanted to come here, and it led to what's going on with Simone because she took TCH. It was in her system. We don't really know how. We kind of wondered that from last season, or not last season, but like before we went on break.
But then we figured it out that it was
in Nate's
lotion. It was infused in his lotion, and
in Nate's lotion. It was
and like Nate didn't like tell anybody before he left for wherever.
Nate, I don't even, we don't know where Nate went, but
Nate came back from wherever.
Nate, we don't know. We don't know where Nate was, but like
I think Nate went on a trip and he came and Simone said that you came home early, like the trip that Nate was on, like
Nate, wherever Nate was, which we're not even sure. But that's not even the big point of it. The point of it is I'm not quite sure why Nate didn't tell Simone that like the cream had, it was infused TCH cream
and the lotion
that Nate has, which but then again it's like, well, Simone didn't ask about using Nate's lotion, so either or, it was kind of like Simone did it to herself. Of course, Thea ends up helping Simone in this episode try to figure out who.
I also could think that someone could have called Nate and asked.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I guess in the way of like
use the lotion instead of just using it out. Nate knows.
Well, either way, it's like oh, if you, I don't know. I guess it's one of those things where like, oh, like Simone thought Nate wouldn't mind, but either way, Nate kind of told the reason why Nate had it is because everything that went on with Nico and stuff, and that kind of helped Nate like be able to like deal with and cope with the fact of them not being together and not be so stressed out. So the thing is though, is that Thea, like my theory was totally shut down on me thinking that Thea was the one that switched her drug test for Thea's, for Simone's drug test. I thought Thea switched her bad drug test out with Simone's. But it turns out that wasn't. Annie thought Tootie did it. I thought if it wasn't going to be Thea, then it definitely was going to be the one dude that gave Thea the cortisone shots. But I already thought away right when they said TCH. I was like, okay, so that's not cortisone. So I was my theory doesn't make valid sense. So I was like, okay, it definitely isn't that, because I thought if anything, I kind of wish they would have went with that more though, because I felt like that would have made more like more of a build up, like, oh god, like really that one dude giving Thea the cortisone shots and making it sound like, oh, that like that you can get past your drug test using those. I really do wish that, him saying that, it would have backfired in that dude's face, and it really would have shown to Thea that by finding out, because I would think that Thea, like, it would be cool if Thea found out that it was the dude that gave Thea the cortisone shots that is trying to save his ass by knowing that it was going to pop up on Thea's test, but switched out Simone's with Thea's or whatever, or Thea's with Simone's. I thought that would have been interesting, and I would really thought that would have been cool if that when Thea would have found out, like, the dude that gave Thea the cortisone shots, when they'd be like, I saved your butt, like, I'm the one that switched out Simone's drug free test, or like or what is it, what's the word for it, like, it's not like
clean test.
Simone's clean test with your positive test of you having you doing drugs. I really thought that would have been a better storyline, but I mean, it is what it is, where it was just a mistake at the end of the day, and it's that your mistakes shouldn't you shouldn't be it shouldn't be your fault for that happening by mistake. You shouldn't be like having these big punishments happening. It should be a life lesson and stuff like that. And I really did like that message of, like, it's like it was a mistake, and you shouldn't be like your life shouldn't be ruined when the system in general, how it is that the system likes to treat people with color differently. And I really like the messages of, like, that's why when we're here at Brixton, we shouldn't be kind of like doing the same things that other people would do to us. Here we shouldn't be doing that. This should be just a lesson or whatever, not something that's going to ruin our livelihood and ruin our dreams. So I did like that message that someone was trying to say, because she ends up going through like what was it, the Brixton what was the committee, Brixton committee or whatever. She was like on trial or whatever by student body. It was like the student body, and they were going to decide if she was
guilty or not.
Nico,
Nico, he can just go away, because like there were like 3 out of like the 6 that were there that said that she was guilty. Yeah. And there was 3 that said that she was not guilty. And
yeah, there was like 3 that said guilty, and then like there was like 3 that said not guilty. And I knew right away when we got to Nico, I was like, of course Nico's gonna say guilty, because Nico made a rude comment earlier.
Keisha beat his ass. Let me beat his ass.
Yeah, Nico's like, Keisha's like, yeah, let me go. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go out back and beat his ass, or I'm gonna go out there and beat his ass. And what's funny to me is that well, it's not even really funny. It's the fact of, like, earlier on, Nico made a rude ass comment, making it sound like, oh, well, I'm glad that you're not getting special treatment. I'm glad the system works or whatever. You're not getting special. I'm glad the whole school's getting the same treatment, on the fact of, like, oh, I know that you're in trouble for because of you were taking drugs or whatever and all that stuff. And the fact of it is that I've just never liked Nico. I don't like the way Nico's is in general. Like, it's just, he's so rude. And the fact of it is that I'm glad that Nate is going to be running for president of
Nate will be
the club.
Like Nico.
Oh, I definitely
out of being
the president. The president, exactly. Nate's a better person. Let's just say how it is. And Nate wants to fight for everybody, where Nico is just using his presidency of that club as a power trip. Nico's got to go. I don't like that character at all. He's a smug bastard. I can tell you that.
Who do you hate more, Nico or Lando?
Oh, they're 100% it's Nico. I don't really mess with Lando either. I mean, I really didn't like the way he was acting in this episode, making it sound like it was Damon's fault. For the one, I guess it was I want to say it was, I forget the old coach of Brixton. I think it was what did I say his name was, or at least I thought his name was Coach Shaw. I think that was his name, if I'm correct. The one that used to be the coach of Brixton. He apparently took money from Lando and gave it to Damon to bring Damon over back into Brixton. Apparently that's what happened. At least that's what I understood. And pretty much everybody would, like, it was JR. It was Santiago, and it was also Lando. They were all looking at when Lando knew about that, and he was saying it to Santiago and JR and Damon didn't know about that Shaw did that, you know what I mean? And it's not Damon's fault, and they made it look like it was Damon's fault that the old coach did that. It's not Damon's fault what someone's willing to do, like, with their power to benefit them. it's not Damon's fault for him being a good player. It's the fault of whoever did that messed up thing, that had the power and did that messed up thing. So, and I just hated that JR did not have Damon's back throughout this entire episode, making it sound like, making Damon feel like it was like, are people better off when with him not
fault,
in, yeah.
But I think that Lando shouldn't have he should have said what he needed, what like he needed to like say what needed to be said after what Damon said.
What do you mean, like
Damon said, when our new player Lando, and then
Lando
froze up.
Yeah, that was definitely Lando's fault, and I hated when he made it sound like it was Damon's fault. When it's like Lando should have been trained in talking to the media because of how good he is at being a pitcher. So I thought right away, I was like, this is bullshit. Again, he's trying to make it sound like it's Damon's fault, because when in reality it's everybody's fault other than Damon, on the fact that Damon should not feel that he is too much of a star for everybody else. That's not the way Damon sees himself.
They need to find their own light.
They need to find their own light, that JR said at the end of the episode. I don't know why it took him so long to finally be a brother and back his brother up on the fact of, like, because JR's felt this way, making him feel like you're just so big and so, like, and you're such a son, and you know what I mean? And he kind of had, like, he kind of felt the same way Thea felt, where, like, you're a son, and you know what I mean? I don't want to get, sucked in, and me be, like, and you know what I mean? It's just, you're just, like, you take up too much. JR's felt this way, Thea feels this way, Lando feels this way, and it's like, that's your fault. You guys want to feel that way. You should not make Damon feel bad for who he is, because he is a star. You guys need to find your own stardom in what you do. You guys need to be your own sons. You can't be wanting to snuff out his light because you guys feel you guys don't have the confidence and have, like, the drive, and you know what I mean? It's you're lacking confidence in yourself. The fact that you're making it sound like Damon is like making it sound like Damon feels like everything revolves around him, when that's not the case. And that just really annoyed me. It took JR so long to, like, actually back up his brother and actually say the thing finally. It's making it sound like, Damon, you have nothing to say sorry for. We need to be the ones to find our own light. We should not be wanting to snuff out your light or making you feel like that you are all about yourself, when that's not who you are. I just hated that it took JR so long to do that. I don't know, especially in next week's episode, where, like, JR, I forget her name, was what's the one girl that's dating JR right now?
I don't remember her name.
I forget her name, but she's pretty much said that JR in the last episode, or in the next episode, it's going to happen, making it sound like you can't give Cam special treatment. You know what I mean? Because he'll be like I guess, like, a target if he feels like, since you're his friend, you're giving him special treatment. So there was a moment where, like, one of the dudes that are, like, because it's hazing. It's, of course, it's what's the word? Pledging, essentially. And, like, he's the one of the dudes was like, oh, you're a pledge, so you have to eat my stomped on food, which I hate that shit. The whole thing of, like, hazing in college, and when it's pledge week, and they pretty much all, like, people of these for these frats or sororities.
Our nephew.
Oh no, I'm not. Yeah. Like, they just end up being like
awful to the pledges.
It's awful. People just are awful to the pledges and shit like that. And that's exactly what.
If I went to college, I don't want to join a sorority that would make me do things.
Hazing shit like that needs to stop in general in colleges. And the fact of it is that I can't, I'm not excited to see next week's episode because of that one reason. I was like, I just don't mess with that shit like that.
He's like, eat my breakfast.
Yeah, I just eat my breakfast, and he stomped on it, and he said that to Cam and all that stuff, because, again, what's her face said that, you can't give Cam special treatment, so that means if he's a pledge, he has to do everything a pledge would do. But it makes me upset that KEK is involved with messed up shit like that to make people want to be in their frat. It's just fucked up. I don't like it. But the fact of it is, with Simone, that one, JR's ex-girlfriend is on a power trip too, because she's the head over at that sorority, and it's pretty much making Simone do like 200 push-ups, and they're dumping like water on them.
Yeah,
it's kind of not, it's not as bad, but it's still messed up. And the fact of it is that if I ever ran a frat, a frat house, if I ever did that, I would not be doing shit like that. If I ever did that, I would never do shit like that. I would do like, to join the frat, you do a lightsaber duel. Like, nerd shit. I would not be doing like, you need to eat dog food. You need to you need to like
clean up our mess,
our gross ass mess,
and have your hands get cut.
Yeah, like stuff like that. Like we wouldn't be doing shit like that. So the fact of it is that, you know, that's one of the things. That's why I would never join a frat if I was even in college. I wouldn't be doing a frat house and shit like that, because it's messed up. Like, you could kill people. Like, it's not work. Like, people don't understand. You could kill people by doing shit like that. Yeah, it's messed up.
If they, you know, if they clean up messes and there's broken glass, and
they could die. Exactly. It's a dangerous thing. But the fact of it is that this episode was good. Like, it definitely was better than All American. That's all I can really say. On top of that, also, is that what else happened in this episode? Oh, Amara is pretty much starting back up family dinners
because her sister came in. It's like, you can't expect them to like, you know, stop family dinner and expect them to be okay.
Yeah, you can't expect them to, like, what was it? What she say? Like, expect them to, like,
not fall apart.
Not fall apart, and you know what I mean, and you not be there to, like,
help them, how build up the pieces. Mom took over making dinner and said to Amara that Cam and Keisha need their auntie right now.
Yeah, well, speaking of which, the whole thing that's going on with Dr. Pace, that's messed up. Like, the fact that Keisha feels like she can't sleep or eat because Dr. Pace is making her feel like she's not good enough and she's not doing well enough. When it's like, in reality, if there's ever dance teachers like that, I'm sorry. That's when you have a passion for something and it turns whatever it is, and it turns into you just feeling like you're, what's the word? Like, it's like the thing what made you love something, and people are pushing you to the point where it's like you can't remember why you like are doing the thing that you wanted to do, and it makes you feel like it's like a chore, and it makes you feel like it's not like, you know, it makes you feel like and you forget why you love doing that one thing. Like, when, like, for instance, if you love dance, which Keisha loves dance, and Mrs. Was it Dr. Pace makes her feel like is pushing her to the point where she's not eating or sleeping.
She can't, she can sleep, but she's
at this point she's gonna feel like
asleep at night because of Dr. Pace.
Like, Dr. Pace is gonna kill her love for dance and kill her passion to become a dancer.
I feel like Dr. Pace at one point either is gonna leave the school and get a teacher who's like a lot easier on the students, or she's kick Keisha out.
That's what I said. I told Annie, I'm like, because Amara had a talk with her, making it sound like, if you don't, you know, this is the real world, even though you're making it sound like what you're doing is the real world and you're trying to set them up for that. It's like, no, what we're in is the real world. And,
you're setting them up to fail.
And you're setting them up to fail, essentially, and we're just not doing this shit anymore, where you're going to make your students not sleep and make them not eat and all that because you're making it sound like they're not good enough. That's not going to get them where they need to go. You're going to ruin them. And the fact of it is that she's like, okay, like, I promise I'm not going to do that anymore. But in reality, I feel like, I said to Annie, I was like, either Dr. Pace is going to kick Keisha out of the dance class, or she's totally going to quit and she's going to go somewhere else. I feel like she's not going to switch on a dime. On what Amara says, I feel like she's going to do some shit. I don't know what she's going to do, Dr. Pace, but it's going to be interesting to see where that goes. All in all, though, it was an overall better episode, I think, than All American. The only thing I really loved about All American episode was the Billy's roast for his birthday.
Yeah, that was funny.
I was crying. It was so funny.
I don't remember who made it.
And it was the part with the Spencer. It was Spencer and getting to the.
It was the cardboard cutout.
Yeah, the cardboard cutout thing. That when we got to that point, it was that. That's what I'm saying. When Spencer and Billy walked up to the cardboard cutout, and I knew instantly. I was like, that cardboard cutout is shorter than Billy, and that's the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. Because I knew right away. I was like, oh, the person that did this party did him dirty. Look how short he is. Oh my god! And the mention with Laura. The hands, that I think it was Laura. It could have been. I don't know who did the party. If you guys know, definitely let us know. But that was funny because I was like, oh god, this is so funny. I love when Spencer's like, at least your hands are accurate. And he's like, oh, you know, they're small like that. And he's like, oh, these are some NFL hands. He's like, yeah, but they're not some Super Bowl champion hands. Get it? Because you couldn't hold the trophy. I was like. So I loved that. I thought that was peak. Other than that, I definitely enjoyed. I was more excited for this episode than I definitely think I was excited for All American. But I don't know. I can't wait. I'm excited to see where we go for the rest of All American. I am excited to see where we go for the rest of for Homecoming of season 2. I know we have season 6 for All American that got confirmed. I don't know how I feel about that. As of right now, I kind of hope season 6 is the last season. I don't know if that's going to be the case. I might change my mind by the end of the season.
Cobra Kai also got renewed for another season.
Yeah, it's the last season though. But I'll probably make a separate video. I may be talking more about Cobra Kai since Annie mentioned it. I might make a second video about that, but or like another video or a video about that because I posted about it on the community tab. But I could probably make a video talking about what I want to see in it and talking about like how I feel about them doing a final season because I definitely had some thoughts of things in last season. I thought it was a great season, but I thought they could have done something last season.
It was before or after Christmas, but speaking of Cobra Kai, in December.
Oh, well, they know I already told them that you met Martin Kove.
Oh.
They already know that. I did a video talking about that. If you guys haven't seen that video about me talking about me meeting Sholo, I have that video. It was a live stream video. It's in my live stream playlist. So go check out that video. She met Martin Kove. I met Sholo from Cobra Kai. So definitely go check out that video.
The cool thing, I was the first one in line for Martin Kove, and while I was waiting in line, William Zabka walked right past me.
Mm-hmm. And he didn't even say hi.
I didn't know if it was him or not.
You just said you walked past William Zabka. How are you gonna tell me now? Oh, I didn't know it was him. You knew it was him. You didn't say anything.
I asked Bethany if it wasn't. She said
because she likes Kreese more than Johnny, bro. I don't understand how you like Kreese more than Johnny, but okay.
It's Kreese.
Okay.
Hello?
But other than that, guys, you know, I definitely thought it was a good episode. I'm curious to know down in the if you guys are in here right now and you watched All American Homecoming last night. What did you think about this episode, and what was your and what are you thinking is going to happen going forward for the rest of the season, and also like. What was your favorite part about last night's episode? I really didn't have a favorite part other than the fact of it was funny when, you know, Keisha said she wanted to go fight Nico because I definitely think someone's got to fight Nico because Nico's got to go. Like, that's just as simple as that. Nico, I'm so glad that Nate's going to be running against Nico. I think Nate is going to win because Nate just rules. But other than that, though...
Nate just rules.
Just rules. Simple as that. But other than that, I think that's it. I mean, we kind of covered all the bases of last night's episode. It was an overall good episode. I just want to say thank you for everybody that's in here and that left a like on the live stream. It means a lot to me. We have 2 likes right now, so thank you. Definitely, if you come in here later, make sure you like the live stream. It helps out and it helps grow the channel up. Definitely, if you're new here, subscribe to the channel, turn those notifications, and of course, like I said, like the live stream. And definitely go check out if you guys are new here, definitely go check out the playlist of all the rest of the old episodes of Season 2 of All American Homecoming, and also, like, if you want to go check out our Season 1 playlist of All American Homecoming, definitely go check that out as well. Along with also, as well, my season, I think I did for Season 4, yes, I think I said 3, 4, and 5. I think I did reviews for 3, 4, and 5 of All American. Definitely go check those out.
Yeah, you did.
If you are new here, I did Season 3, 4, and 5 spoiler reviews for All American as well. Definitely go check out those playlists as well. But yeah, guys, that was the live stream. Definitely, like I said, definitely let me know down in the comments, because once I save this video, I'll also be able to read your comments of what you guys thought about last night's episode, so definitely let me know. Also, I have a video coming up soon, I think, of me showing off some new changes I'm making in my room. I mentioned that in my All-American video, some changes that I'm making in my room, changes I'm super excited about. I'm adding some new things. I'm changing some things up in my room. So I think I'm going to do an updated room tour. So if you're interested in that, definitely let me know down in the comments. Let me know. And I'll get that video out as soon as possible. I have to wait until Friday to really finish the room because of that's when some things come in that I'm able to actually make the changes I want to make. So I'm excited for that, but other than that, I hope everybody has a great day, a safe day, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace.